Repulse is going to have a word with the invisible jungler that still had quite a lot to say.
Thank you, Pyra. I'm here joined by Dexter from Element after his win. First off, congratulations after taking down ROCCAT. First off, I wanted to ask you your opinion on Nautilus top. It's the champion that we're seeing now come into the top lane. We've seen it in every single region. EU has been the last one to pick it up.
Yeah, I think we practiced it a bit last week already, but we weren't sure how strong it is, so we wanted to wait. And then we saw NA first picking Nautilus, winning every single game with top lane Nautilus. So we thought, yeah, we saw it in China a bit. It's really good, I think. It's a new Maokai in my eyes because he has lane pressure since level 1. He can push in. His ultimate is straight up overpowered, I think, for top lane, and it has like a lot of damage as a tank, so you can be like a tank and frontliner in the late game while also providing a lot of early game damage. And then he is like really easy to gank lanes, and I think in that game we kind of tried to shut down the Ryze, which we did, I think. Good. We focus on that. And I think that provides like huge utility that you have like a very CC heavy, damage heavy type top lane, which is very, very good in the current meta to have, because that way you can actually play like the TP advantage for your team and then snowball the rest of the game.
Yeah, I too think top Nautilus is amazing. Now, I want to talk about your position in the standings and how far you think you can go before we hit playoffs.
I'm not even sure what our score is right now. I think it's 5-8, yeah. So obviously it's not optimal. I think we lost a lot of dumb games, and I think our draft was like the most problematic thing. And even coming into this week, I thought we have like a really good draft here, even when we gave up Ryze. But I think in general, like this week of practice was a lot better than others because we prioritize on the right champions, and we're finally in the meta, which I would say, and we don't really lose the game in champion selection. So I felt like at this way that we just lose games straight up in champion selection, which was really frustrating for us because we didn't know what to do in game, and then we straight up lost during the champion. But yeah, I think right now we can probably hit top 6 if we win all the games. And I think if we hit top 6, then we're gonna have a really strong playoff performance, in my opinion, because I think we are better in a best of 5 settings and preparing for one opponent than just seeing how like week by week every single time another opponent comes. So I think we are better at just preparing for one opponent in the best of 5, and then hopefully strong playoffs performance, maybe go to Worlds. Nah, that's a bit too ambitious, but yeah, just take every single game one by one right now, and then hopefully we will not get relegated or something. Yeah.
Well, you're looking very good so far, Dexter. Congratulations once again on your win, and we are going to shoot it over to the analyst desk to clean up the rest of that game.
Well, Dexter had a lot to say. Very nice to hear from him. Also saying that Nautilus is the new Maokai. Maybe Krepa will do a segment on it next week. Who knows? Dexter also touched on the fact that they were unsure about their drafts or not had really good drafts maybe in the past couple of weeks. What did you make of this one? Because I knew that you guys were raising your eyebrows with some of the picks.
Yeah, so Ryze's first pick I don't think is 100% anymore. I don't think it was a particularly bad pick. I just think Elements were somewhat lucky to get away with having Sivir rotate around through the picks and bans with that Kalista ban. Overall, I kind of echo Dexter's sentiments. They made their picks and bans phase work for them very well in the game. Just looking at it before the last few picks were locked in, I was a bit skeptical.
Yeah, I think that Ryze has some downsides, which is his immobility. But once he gets like 1 or 2 kills or has some farm and gets going, he's like a monster. But I think Elements had the best start into the game that you can imagine. They get the level 2 gank on the top side because ROCCAT's just playing way too aggressive on their weak side. Then afterwards they get another kill on the top side. They are already 4-0. And at this point, they should have just either way pressured the lane with Nautilus against Ryze. Either way, prepare for a tower dive or freeze the wave, and Ryze wouldn't be able to do anything. But as it happens, ROCCAT made aggressive plays on the bot side, and they get so many kills. Yeah, if you discount those 5 minutes that ROCCAT got that dragon fight, Elements were actually doing really well for the entire game. Actually, this is the 5th game that ROCCAT have lost after holding a lead at 20 minutes. And we got to grab those Barons. Let's get the first replay up on the screen. Heartbreaking to watch from the side of ROCCAT. This was only the first one, though. Yeah, this was the first Baron attempt that ROCCAT made. And honestly, this was kind of just a weird call overall. They knew Twisted Fate was on the bottom side, but you always got to keep in mind he's going to appear in this fight when he does. And from here, great engage coming out of Elements. Yeah, I feel like that ROCCAT was just not prepared. They have all the tools, Annie with Flash Tibbers, but she only Tibbers Thresh, who is not really a threat, and then from behind comes Nautilus, and honestly, they just kind of wombo-comboed with them, and yeah, in the end, come out with a Nashor that was free for them. So I'm a little bit surprised that ROCCAT like overdoes it, and there was a lot of hectic. I think there needs to be more communication how to actually turn on the Nasher when you know that the enemy is coming, because that didn't seem any kind of organized.
It's not free if you kill a lot of people.
that is true, but you know,
it was afterwards.
It's true.
It seemed to be buy one get one free in this game, because the same thing happened a second time. Pretty much almost exactly the same thing. If we take a look at the second Baron replay that we took from that game, basically ROCCAT managed to get themselves a bit of a catch to start this one off. You can see that Nautilus was not available for this fight, but keep a track of where the crowd control is actually being held onto. Vanda still has Tibbers for a and Flash for a very long time in this fight. And Tabs is just able to get so much damage out to get this double kill early on. Still, well, Vanda still could have had Tibbers available at any point in this fight. Didn't really have the targets to go for, and ROCCAT again get punished for starting the Baron.
Yeah, this is like normal mistakes that you see in the LCS, and we all need to fix, like us included, which is this kind of being on the same page. They have the flash any Tibbers. They can turn any time, and Grace actually wants to turn Miseralis, Tabs. And yeah, at this point they just don't turn. And you see Annie going in first, getting absolutely one-shotted, and then Graves afterwards flashing in, and you say that you could do that at the same time. You can do that in the prior state. Yeah, just about being on the same page, and I think we all need to learn on that.
Yeah, you say we all need to learn. Do you think that is, well, the mistakes are the main difference between the top three and like the rest of the middle of the table? Do you all have a good level if you play your best?
I think yes. If everybody plays their best, we have a really high level. You can see that some teams are just coming out really, really strong where you don't expect them to be. Giants having those, for example, Ezreal pick and just playing so well with that. But then you have some kind of rotational mistakes where people end up like getting tower dove, and at some point we should be able to fix this. And I think LCS is on a really good way. Fnatic being really far ahead, making the least amount of mistakes, and you see how it's, you know, showing in the scores. They are 12-0 now, and yeah, I think just shout out as well to their strategical play. I think this is something where if we see more in the LCS coming that through, we will have really interesting games.
Yeah, and talking about top teams in a few minutes, Origin will try and hold off Giants Gaming as Pepinero and his team look to pad their record and keep themselves safely in playoff contention. We'll see you back here in 3.5.
Theatrics is just not our element.
Oh my god.
Are you trying to get in now?
Oh my god.
I think yes. Permission to take off my headset, Thomas Stan.
Is able to take him down as JWoww looks around the side for more. Dexter lanterns his way back to safety, maybe not.
Shut down.
Came Steve.
Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. Rallis. I'm looking right. Rallis. Nice. Steve. Right. Finish Baron. Nice.
The double kill. Vander goes forward for the bear, but it won't be enough. Triple. Tabs is going for more. Froggen's coming in. Elements have done it. They topple ROCCAT and move up the standings.